May 4th, 2012. The curtains are up and so are the skirts. It's episode 65 and this is Make and Break.
Bob Wood, National Program Director of the Chum Group, worked with us in producing...
Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming?
Dan Calvin.
Back again. Who is he? Just your favorite DJ Savior. Using and confusing beats that you never heard. 1990. Put a smile on your face like ultra bright.
You're just fessing, man. I don't even want to hear about it.
You're listening to Make and Break Radio on RadioMackinac.org. Welcome back to another great episode of Make and Break Radio, this one being number 65, and I'm your host, Daniel Calvin. As you can probably tell from my previous statement, my week-long hiatus has renewed my confidence in bringing you the finest streaming internet comedy radio in the eastern Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I was in Saginaw last weekend to spend an evening around a bonfire with a friend of the show, Joe Visor. He and I haven't shared beers and stories in quite a few years, and this most recent trip to Saginaw was a real treat. I was in Saginaw the weekend before as well, this time for a housewarming party. I have to say that it too was a great weekend, and with both I saw old friends and had a good time. I was happy to have been invited. Perfect timing, too. With the island coming to life, if these plans had been scheduled for weekends just a week later, I could not have attended. I drove back north following both trips with some great quotes that I'll share with you out of context later for your amusement and at least for my own. So let's get on with the show. And here are a number of things said by me or to me in my presence over the last 2 weekends. We used to have dogs. We had 2 of them, but they both died within a few weeks. One of them had cancer. The second one died a month later. Its kidneys exploded. A lady referring to her 20-ish-year-old son of slight stature who is standing in the room. He eats like a horse, but you'd never know it from looking at him. You'd never know that he almost died when he was 7 months old. He has a sensitive palate, but he'll come home from McDonald's with more hamburgers than you can shake a stick at. You know. He had a lung removed just a few years ago. And of course, you'd have to insert several moments of silence. I lied before when I said that things would be out of context. Here's the scenario. Child playing with logs in the fire when one of them is flipped end over end, sending cinders flying. And I said, that just crossed my threshold of amusement. There wasn't any more flaming sticks thrown about that night. And so that's that. A few weeks ago, friend of the show, the chairman, stopped up to the island for a night of stupid. While he was here, we discussed the imminent purchase of my first television. I was in possession of a television that I had taken into my own custody as a favor for a seasonal employee. It only took about 3 days for that 32-inch TV to sit upon its pedestal before plans were hatched to mount it to the wall. Within a week, mounts were hung, holes were cut into the walls, eyebrows were placed, cables were hidden, furniture was rearranged. I didn't have to remind myself that this LCD brainsucker didn't belong to me. My destruction of walls and the purchase of a soundbar and subwoofer sealed my destiny. I would have to purchase my first television. I was inclined to purchase a television identical to the one that I was caring for. That 32-inch screen fit well upon the wall to which it was hung. It looked like a painting that occasionally showed a portrait of Vincent D'Onofrio, while other times the painting was porno. As the chairman and I discussed my imminent casting away of a few $100s, I learned that he had declared himself a flat-screen television guru, a plasma master, an LCD luminary. He told me of great buys and good finds. If you buy 3 Westinghouses at Costco, you can sell the other 2 and nearly pay for your own. Chris, I said, I don't want to buy 3 TVs. Get a TV from random store in Utah, he said. You'll get a great deal. Chris, I said, I can't window shop in Utah while living on Mackinac. I repeated, I want a 32 or 37-inch TV for the best picture for the best price. Pshaw, he repeatedly exclaimed. Go with the 42. You'll be a lot happier. The chairman struck a nerve. He got to me. His words burrowed into my brain like a worm thing from Dune or Tremors or whatever. And those words rang heavily. You'll be a lot happier. Was this my portal to happiness? Did he know something I didn't? If I ignored him, would it be at my own peril? Did the chairman of Awesome hold a secret to a state of being we all crave, that even the most enlightened of men on mountaintops did not possess? A few weeks later, slightly ahead of schedule, I forked over the cash, and a little extra. The extra was the cost of following the chairman's advice. I unpacked the behemoth and mounted it to the wall like a moose face that I would soon regret shooting in the first place. I let the TV entertain me. I let it mesmerize my brains. This thing is like a living casino. It resembles a billboard more than it resembles a television. A billboard that plays my Hulu queue. Not bad at face value. But after a while I began to experience eye strain. Sitting about 12 feet away from this Goliath forces me to move my eyes about the screen to see all the sights. I had to purchase a neck brace and new glasses. The neighbors complain that the TV glows through the walls. It takes up more of the wall than is aesthetically pleasing. I'm afraid that visitors will judge me by the size of my living room and the television contained within. Let this be a lesson to everyone. Happiness cannot be learned from a guru. It cannot be purchased. We must internally and externally improve ourselves to find happiness. Not our surroundings. Well, that helps, but by itself is not enough. And just think how gross porn is, if it's bigger than life size. And this has been Straight Talk Straights for episode 65, May 4th, 2012, and I'm your host, Daniel Calvin.
Só danço samba, vai, 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 vai. Só danço samba, só danço samba, só danço samba, vai.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you kids, but I'm gonna cut the show off short. There's a lot of fun times going on downtown. I'm gonna get myself a shower, head downtown, see what kind of action is happening, or not. But nonetheless, thanks for listening to Make and Break Radio, episode 65 on RadioMackinac.org. Before I sign off, I want to welcome everyone new, old, or confused to Mackinac. We all are the reason why this place is great. And thank you for listening. And your feedback would be a great thing. That would be show at makebreakshow.com would be a great way to get a hold of me. Or you can complain to my boss at the Tourism Bureau, but we won't talk about that right now, will we? Nonetheless, I say that a lot, don't I? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going off the air. I'm going to play one more song. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to go downtown, get drunk. It's that time of year, and I'm tired. Looking forward to next week, everybody. We'll have some fun. All right.
Só danço samba,